this way, and then you turn, and then you go to the square, and then you have an exit from the other end. So that way you keep the privacy, and the square, instead of being public, when it is semi-private, it can be used by the children. It will have another function. It will not become like in a street where you have the open field, and I don't know. It will be, but here, this have a focal point, which was this, because you have to turn here, and I have to be the focal point, which to attract your attention. And this tree didn't grow, and you go right to your left. Next, please. This is the market, and we had to serve the people by having alveoles where to sit, because usually they exhibit their goods and wares on the ground, in the dust and the sun, etc. I thought that you have to respect them and have them shaded. And this is facing south. This is for climatology, and by this way, in winter they have the sun, and in summer they have openings on the other side. The wind blowing above, it will create draft by suction here, by the Venturi action, and it is very comfortable. Next, please. This is again this is another project. It is in Bariz, in the Kharga Oasis, and we have had, this is the market again. We have the vault of the shop here, and it is protected from the outside, and it has the double roof, so that you can shade. It is not like out here where you want to heat. We have to shade and to cool down. Next, please. But all in mud brick. This is again the market, and next, please. And these are a courtyard in one of the houses, or the peasant houses, and I have found that they have put the water jar under an arch in the outside of the house. I thought to use this principle, and under the stairs, and having cluster work to have the draft and to cool down the water. And the water trickling down from the pottery would irrigate the plants that are there, the flowers. Next, please. This is the view from the other end at the dome here, all in adobe. Next, please. And this is the same climbing up. Next, please. This was the theater, an open-air theater, and the village hall. Next, this was the platform on which to sit. To have the performance on this area. And we use camels and horses and so on, have pirates and have plays when people coming from the streets and met by other pirates coming from the other streets. Next, please. And this is the theater, the theater. It is supported with all mud underneath, vaulting, etc., and lined with stone, and the stage setting is fixed. And we have had theatricals, and they were very happy, and they produce even their own plays. Next, please. This was the village hall, the entrance to the village hall, and we have had here to the side a covered area for the post telegraph, other utilities. Instead of going inside, you can have it. And in front of each window, a seat, and something to stop, a small wall on which they can put the hand baggage and so on. Next, please. This was when you entered from the first courtyard, the first turning point I told you with the things in the corner, you come into this private square. This was the reception hall, for the guests. For the important people, they would be, the elderly would be inside, the others would here, and the children outside, etc. And I asked the masons, the Nubian masons, to decorate the doorway. I wanted to see what they would do. And they have done this. This is hieroglyphic. This is Nut, the goddess of the sky and the star. And this is Earth, the two triangles. And I asked the mason if he knew hieroglyphics, what is it? And he said, this is for the bad eye. I mean to say for superstition. As I told you, the door is invested with superstition. Next, please. This was the primary school, and fitting into the landscape with the mountain behind. Next, please. It's all in adobe. This was a craft school for tapestry. Next, please. And this was how the classrooms, courtyard, when you have entered the other courtyard I told you with the flowers and the basin in the middle, etc., etc. You come into this for the classrooms. Next, please. This was the architecture when they built for the Nubians, what you have seen, and they have built all this, the same design, one design, and putting 3 zeros, it became 1,000. And the Nubians usually, they like drinking. I mean, when they come back at night, after they have taken some beer, they count because the houses are all the same. So they forget after you count to 12, and then you would come back from the very beginning and walk and count again. I mean, they cannot find their houses. They know, I mean, this is fantastic. I wonder, when I have met Mr. Rudowski, who wrote Architecture Without Architects, I told him, Monsieur, I like your book because when I see the architecture that we are, the architects are doing, and what you have seen of the Nubian architecture that you have seen, I wonder which is which is the architecture with architect, and which is the architecture without architect. Next, please. Oh, this is, I want to say, a girl with this front, and they have fingers. Next, please. And this is almost like the front of the girl and the fingers here. This comes out because the form comes out from reacting with its environment. It's affected by its environment. Next, please. This was at our market the velocity of the wind was 1 meter 0.5 per second, and in the basement was 2 meters 0.5 per second. So you see, when we apply our modern scientific knowledge and formation about aerodynamics by using the Venturi action and ventilating and creating air movement by traction, not by compression, and applying the few informations that we can get from hydrodynamics, the result would be really very useful for desert architecture. Next, please. This was the school again, coming back to Dana, after it was been. Next, please. And this was the architecture without architects, as we have seen it with the Nubians, and as we have seen it with the Iranians, and when you see it with what the architects, when they stepped, when Dionysus stepped into the domain, and when Apollo stepped on the domain of Dionysus, and Apollo was very young, he didn't grow up, he was not yet, he was the primary school, and taking the liberty to meddle with the peasant architecture and to try to and to make the people make their homes when they want. Well, I think that there is a lot that one can say, one can explain, and it was really a great pleasure for me to talk to everybody in this part of the world where you have respected Mother Earth and you have respected Adobe, and I think that this opportunity is worthy of being taken care of, and to be the university curricula should take care of this. I heard that the university doesn't exist, and the Adobe doesn't exist in the University of Santa Fe. But this is not because it's not, even if you were rich enough that you can dispense with Adobe, but you have 900 million people in the other parts of the world. Millions. I was lecturing last month in Vienna, and I told them about how they are the responsibility of the architects, and I told them, gave them an example that we have in the third world too a disease called bilharzia. It is a worm that goes into the skin and kills man and reduces his life. So I said that you have had Dr. Bilharzia Germany who was conscious of this and tried to heal. And we, the architects, you, the architects in Vienna, you have the same responsibility because you are 900 million, not 50 million. So this is a great responsibility for every architect in the world, not in Santa Fe and not in New Mexico. And you say, oh, it doesn't matter, I have my problem, or this is a no issue. It is, we are all belonging to this planet, and we have what we call now, here in the States, the planetary citizenship. We belong to the planet, and we have to be planet conscious and think about the millions and the billions that we are dealing and trying to build for, and at least to make them to find their homes when they go back by night, after the second beer. Thank you. Thank you. Merci bien. Any questions? I would be very glad, by the way. Yes, please.
I would be interested to know what...
Tell me, because I don't hear well.
What are the limits of a span with the Adobe vaults and the arches? You mentioned 3 meters at one point as the limit. Is that the largest area that you span in a single vault?
What's the limit of the span of the vault? Is there a limit?
Yes, there are limits according to the material. We, as I told you, because I don't hear well, he would let me hear. In a hot, arid zone in like Nubia, the maximum or the normal that they are using is 3 meter span of the vault or the Adobe vault. But I have seen in Iran 6 meter span in a school. And not only that, it was to cover the hall of the school, and the vaults were leaning upwards to catch the breeze. You can have the same thing to catch the sun if they were directed toward the sun. They will catch the sun wave, because we have been discussing this problem yesterday with Van Dresser, and we were talking about how we can, I wish if we had more time to discuss this problem of how can we adapt vault and dome architecture to suit the climate. Because the end wall, as I told you, is open, and we have to fill it up. But you can leave it open and have it for the sun, and it is inclined so that it can receive the sun rays nicely. So, but you have, there is no limit, as a matter of fact, if you can increase your thickness of shell to a certain limit. Because in 50 pounds, Estonia. It has 27 meters span, I don't know, 30 meters height, or I don't remember, something around the 30 meters in span and height. But I have asked once, I wanted to have, like you have rightly asked, I asked the professor of structures to give me the limits for the different elements of architectural elements, like the lintel, the stone lintel, and the arch, and so on, and the vault. And we found that the stone lintel maximum 6 meters. That's why when you have monumentality in the classical architecture, you have it in the height, because the span between the columns is limited to no more than 6 meters. But and the arches, we said after, I don't remember, something like 40 meters, 60 meters, 30 meters, 35 meters, you have the thickness of your rings of the arch goes to infinity. So this is the limit that you have 30 something. And this will be structural engineer, and you know, as I always say, those who play with mud brick have to be to ask for the assistance of it is to be a trio. Three they have to be. The soil mechanics engineer are the specialists, and the structural engineers specialize in shell structures, because you are dealing with walls and domes like shells, and the architect, but not one alone. That way you can be sure of, when you have subjected your design to the rules of these countries, you can use the vault and dome to any span with the same security as you are using concrete and timber or steel. But besides, as you rightly asked, simple problems, one has to have the help and assistance of the special engineer, until we shall have established a certain tradition, because in the past they had no tradition, but they sold like Persephone. There were no calculations for it, but they managed to think of it, and they have it by feeling. Yes, please. Yes. Yes. This is one ring, and the bricks are laid like that to be concentric, coming from down below, and that way you have this. If the dome is here, suppose, and you have the center here, so you have your guide, your voussoirs, the bricks are going this way. So you have this, this is resting in the ground, fixed up in the ground as a post here, and you have this nailed here. You have on top of this rod here, wooden rod, you have this rod here. You put a nail of piece of sheet metal here, and nail it here and then nail it on the other side so that it will be holding, so that it can swivel round. And you swivel it round and it will take any position to get into the radiant, rather, I mean to say. But it will not be radiant actually, because the structure imposes that you have it radiant here, suppose. But when you come here, you have it a little lying down here, it will be radiant in the middle. But on top, it will be lying a little horizontal. The mason will know that so as not to slip down. This technique, this we have to have it actually. So this is where, I mean to say, the practice and the experience and the theory and yes, please. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
How do you get the bricks? How do you get the curve? Do you put Mohammed at the back? How does the curve of the dome develop from laying the bricks like this?
How do the curve develop, and where do you put the mortar to stick the brick together?
With the vault, you mean?
Dome.
Well,
No, the dome.
the dome.
The dome. No, this rests on. Excuse me. This rests. Yeah, this is resting on the shell of the dome. Yeah, you have the rings are coming down. This is on the top what you have seen, but you have this is resting. When we have two kinds of domes. We have the Byzantine dome, which we call dome on pendentals, and the dome on squares, the Sassanid dome. If you have a square here, and if you have the circumscribed circle here, this, if you have a dome here over this, and you cut, as if it were a half a watermelon, and you cut here vertically, you will have here a surface, a vertical surface like that. And here another surface. This would go. So you will have on all corners, so that you will have what we call this, the dome and pendentives. This is the pendentive here. Here, this is the pendentive, because when you come in the corner, where is the stick that I have? Thank you. When you come in the corner here, and you move your stick like that, the guide, and fill up, until you come to the, when you're free, you have here, from here you will draw a circle here, and a circle there. And if this would be slanting down, this would be the pendentive, because it is falling down. So this is one of the ideas I need to say about the Byzantine dome, but you have the Sassanid dome is different. You have the square here, and you change it to an octagon. And you draw here what we call the squinches. It is like a dome here, half a dome, and here, and here, and there. Then you would have here the square has been changed into an octagon, and you come on top here. The octagon here, and here another line here, and here, and here, and there, and there, and there. So you can pose your dome on the octagon, but you cannot pose it, and it will leave corners. So this is to fill up the corners, and this is what we call the squinches. So this is a Sassanid dome on squinches, and this is the dome, Byzantine dome on pendentives. We call it Byzantine, although the first example I have seen goes back to the 12th dynasty in the excavations of Reisner in the necropolis of Giza. Yes, please.
And so as you build the dome,
Yes.
and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller towards the top, do the adobes actually step, or is it a smooth surface that you have as you build it.
The position of the adobe bricks,
Yes.
is it by step or is it just circular and smooth
No,
round?
it is circular, and every ring the same level, and as you move your guide, it will be going on horizontally, and you have the rings are circular and like an arch, vertical, but this is circular, lying not flat but radiant from the center. So you have one circle on top of the other, and they get smaller until you come on the top. You see, you have to, when you have at the bottom, you have this, all this here, but on top it will be only a small. I mean, because you would have, as you are rising, the shell is being reduced in size. I mean, it's coming like that, and then until you come to the top.
And so the surface inside is smooth as you
The
build it?
surface inside and outside, almost smooth according to the size of the bricks. There would be, because the brick is straight, but the curve, as you said, it doesn't fit in, but it is a very small difference, and it will be jutting out, and this will be taken up by, if it were stone, it has to be chipped and made smooth. But if it were adobe, you can plaster it, because it's plastered.
But what he wants to know is how the bricks, are the bricks set on top of each other like this, or are they set next to each other like that? Is that the question?
Yes.
In other words, do they stack up on top of each other, or do they go
The bricks,
Do they stack up on top of each other or they just build one next to
no,
another?
in each ring, you see each ring is circular and horizontal. And the second ring will come on top of it, and the other will come on top of it. But they are becoming smaller in diameter because we are rising. You see, if this were to be, as we said here, if this were the dome here, it was the circle here. So this would go right round, and then the second ring would come on top, and then when you come on top, it would be doing only this until you come to zero. So possibly that you go ring over ring, and each ring is horizontal, not horizontal, radiant from the center, but flat, I mean to say, not vertical. Like that here and like that here, radiant from the center. But they make it a little inclined towards the horizontal to stick, not to slip down. The masons would have this intelligence of the fingers, the hand. Yes. We are showing this in this center or Dar al-Islam that we are having, and we have the masons are building all these kinds of vaults and domes, the Sassanid Dome and the Byzantine Dome and the parabolic, the catenary arch, vault. All this will be there, and we shall have models to be put on the ground. Instead of having it high and you cannot see, we shall have domes and vaults built on the ground so that you can see and you can play with yourself and try and see, because this is, there is a great potential in this kind of roofing, because it saves all the material that you have to spend money on. Yes.
And when will the workshops be? Are they're this month?
Yes.
And what is the date?
The date, you can come on weekend, since they plan to build the dome this weekend.
In Abiquiu?
It's on the way to Abiquiu, yes. And there's a very small sign on your right when you cross the bridge, going to Abiquiu. There's a bridge.
Which says what?
Hassan Fathy's workshop.
Okay.
So it's a little bit tight, but if you go straight to the ghost ranch, and people might tell you exactly where it is,
Okay.
and we might be there, and we might even go together.
can't think my rolling down to bottom. And with that,
Is he all the way up now?
yeah. Yeah.
You got the saw?
يا عمر عايزين واحد زي ده لوح زي ده عايزين منشار الصاع يلا قبل جميل ما كده والله جهراس اسحب على ورا خلاص ايوه كملها شويه يلا دوام يا عمر we need a longer board. Yeah, hold on. Boy. 2x6. Oh, boy. Saw. Excuse me. Okay. You gotta cut it.
Yeah, he's got to mark it first. You need a pencil.
Is there a mud box up there already?
No. Not quite sure where to go.
Kind of bevel on one side. Until a little later, everyone will stay off the walls. These walls. معنا في الأخير. بعدين هنمشي نجيبه. بص في جنب واحد.
Every time you walk on my board, it jiggles the camera. This extra scaffolding helps a lot.
One more person over here to help with these.
And it jiggles.
Need a few flat rails.
We need those now. Got the right flat ones over there. Coming up now.
هنزل واحد زي ده. ايه واحد زي ده. انت زي ده. احنا عايزين بالخفيف.
Just bring a few of those flat ones up. Yes. Yeah, those ones. Come on, just bring them up.
We need to get bricks up there first.
Here's a supply of bricks back. It's one thing, I get big ones. Now with Calvin, they're good bricks.
Dry brick.
ها تبغى تسكن ناشي هو قبل هو في قبل ناشي.
Spread that out. Spread that mud out.
ايوه ايوه من هنا كمان. ايوه تمام ودي. ايوه
Right here, it's back.
Coming.
You want it? I don't have any.
ولا هنا. ليش تنمون هنا كنا نرتاح. ايوه رص اديله الشغل.
Keep it coming, keep it coming. Don't stop.
Sorry.
big block.
استنى كده استنى شويه وين ناجي من وين؟ كبير 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 ايوه ايوه ارمي ها ايوه ايوه هنا كويس ها ايوه هو ايوه هاي واحد ثاني ايوه ايوه ودي ارمي الله يعينك ارمي اي واحد يقدر اي واحد
Block.
block
Very secure.
block
Block. We need big ones up here.
كده حط المرة كده
Another block.
حط واحد هنا هنا خليها هو كويس تعال من هنا كويس
That's good. Pile them up down there.
كده هون بس شيل بس
Big block.
ايوه
Which is in the shade, either from the wall they're building behind it or from the people standing.
لا لا لا
Slow it down. Slow them down. Okay.
ايوه اوكي ايوه بلاك ايوه دي جوه
Theatrical and they're from Egypt. They don't mean it. Need a hammer? You have another half block?
بلاك
Okay. Yeah.
Construction site.
I got you. I'm getting used to it.
Another block. برضه القلب اللي هنا شالوه برضه القلب اللي هنا وقع برضه القلب اللي هنا مين شال اللي هنا ده؟ انا عايز اجيب له حرس نعمل حرس ولا نجيب لكم كوبايه.
You noticed how they don't use water like we do? We always have water and clean our tools and our hands constantly. They don't do it.
كبير صقع كم حلوه لك
We need those regular.
بس وين الماركه وين الماركه وين الماركه أبي وين الماركه أبي وين
See what I did?
Get the pictures if you need to. It's not how fast they can do it. If you're doing this for people to learn. See, they're doing this for people to learn, not to see how fast they can do it. And these people came a long way and put a lot of effort into being here to learn this. And the more you slow down, the more people can learn what's going on.
ايوه حاضر